Hey, you. Yeah, you. Is your counter covered with stuff? Does all that stuff get in the way of the other stuff? Well, let me introduce you to cabinets. Yes, you heard that right. Cabinets.
Get yours today by calling 1-800-SOME-GUY-OUTSIDE with only 3 small payments of liking, commenting, and subscribing.
Over now, because we can get to start working on that mirror. So, what are we going to do with this medicine cabinet mirror build? I'm imagining the front face is going to be live edge, or at least partially live edge. I think the live edge to the outside, outside perimeter of the box will be the coolest look, in my opinion. So, we're going to be choosing logs from the logs we got back there. Now, we cut our own logs. Now, when I'm selecting it, I'm going to be also thinking about how much I'm going to be able to utilize some of this wood, because I don't want to use an overly thick board that I'm going to have to plane down, getting rid of half of that wood, when I could have used that far more productively for another project. So that's something I'm thinking about as I'm selecting that piece. Now we're going to start running whatever board I choose through that planer. We're going to get it to the right length, and we're going to measure out. So we're going to need 4 boards for the front door, 4 boards for the box itself, and probably 2 shelves inside of that box. So that's about 10 pieces of wood to 20 to 16 inches in length, and I'm thinking about a 4-inch deep medicine box, 3.5. Channels into these before we glue them together. That channel's for the mirror to slide in. I haven't totally figured out if we're going to cut the channel, slide the mirror in, then glue it all together, or glue them all together except one piece and then slide the mirror in. Don't know yet. We'll figure that out. But for now, we're going to go over to that and cut the frame out, the frame of the box out. Good news, bad news. Good news is, there's no good news. Bad news is, I messed up the shorter top and bottom ends of this. I accidentally ran them through the table saw over there with the wrong edge down and put a square where there should be a channel. So these will go in the fire starter bin, and we will pull another piece of wood out and start over real fast. Back to it. Alright, we're back to where we would have been about an hour and a half ago if I hadn't made a mistake, but I did. So I'm going to get sanding, especially these interior edges where it's close to the mirror. That won't be very accessible once it all is all glued, tack nailed, however we can join it. Once it's all joined together, that interior stuff, these inner edges, these inner corners, those are going to be the hardest to get. For now, pulling it back apart, gluing it up, see where we take it. We're rolling up our sleeves and we're getting this one done today. We need to build the back, and I'm going to be using some leftover or some repurposed cedar shingling, or I don't even know what this stuff was, some type of siding from previous projects. I think the project of just building the barn or the cabin, just stuff we have lying around in the old wood pile. Now, I'm going to run those through the planer, just kind of freshen them up a little bit, cut them to the right size. I'm going to do a vertical, so they'll be running perpendicular to the actual wood of the house, and I think that'll be kind of a cool look for when you open up the mirror and you see that, you know, perpendicular. It's not just the back, it's not just the wall, it is different. Then we're going to be dovetailing the front, that mirror section, because that mirror is pretty heavy, and while the wood glue has held together, and I think that glue and sawdust trick looks great, I don't think it's 100% strong, and even if it's 95% strong, I want it to be as close to 100 as it can. So we're going to be dovetailing the back of that just for a little bit of extra strength. After we're done dovetailing, we're going to be cutting those shelves in. Once we have the back, shelves, and that front done, we're just going to be cutting the holes or drilling the holes for the furniture, making sure everything lines up, opens, closes, nice and good. Once we have all that furniture on, well, we're bringing it inside to the bathroom, we're mounting it on.
I think I got that line just about right.
And this middle line is pretty close to accurate as the half line, so I was kind of trying to line that up on the center of that light bulb.
Hey, close enough. Screw 'em in.
Lights in there. Wow, you are pretty. Pretty. Oh, hi. I was saying the cabinet's pretty. The cabinet's pretty, not me. Thanks for coming along. Follow me on Instagram at someguy_outside. And remember, if some guy can do it. Girlfriend's calling.